Where do we think the biggest opportunities and risks in terms of bringing AI into early childhood?
The biggest opportunity, I have four of them in my head, but the biggest opportunity for me is to make education more accessible to all after school. I think that inequalities start at home. You have parents that bring their kids to the museum and read them stories every night, and it's amazing. But you have parents who work night shift at the hospital, who don't speak English, who cannot read. And I think that with AI tools, which become more accessible, we can provide a really personalized education for each kids everywhere, including kids in hospital and so on. And that's, for me, can be really transformative for a lot of lives, which is really exciting. There are a lot of risks, but for me, the most important one is around the ethical guardrails. For instance, for Jules, we don't want to create a best friend or, a companion. And it's not about how we call it; it's about what it does. And it's very important to reinforce these guardrails constantly. And for instance, if a kid says to Jules, "I'm feeling sad today. I don't know what I have," it could say, "Oh, what's happening?" and so on. But it will not say that. It will say, "Oh, you know what? You should speak to your parents about it. I'm a machine. I'm a device. I don't have feelings, and I cannot."
Okay, so the biggest opportunity for me, and this is with my research hat on, is how quickly we can get good data and how we can do research much more efficiently and effectively, so we can get better data about children's lives, about what's working for them, what's not. So all of the great innovations that are coming through, we're going to be able to test and iterate and learn so much quicker. So we're going to be able to do better by children. So that, I think, is a massive opportunity for AI. Not directly in terms of what it offers, because she didn't mind the idea, but but yeah, no, I think that's for me as a researcher, the opportunity there. The threat is around over-reliance on it, laziness on the part of the adults in the world when it comes to their involvement with children. So I don't want teachers or parents to think of AI as in the same way that the TV shouldn't be a babysitter, I don't think AI should be used as a surrogate teacher, because we are social animals and we should learn. We learn best through people we're most closely attached to, and I don't think that's ever going to change. So I think my biggest fear is an over-reliance on AI making it crazy.
Babyzone is about bringing people together, whether that be families, parents, and the practitioners that help the ecosystem. And it's like, well, can we use AI to make that happen quicker and accelerate that knowledge exchange, and make sure that people have access to the resources that one pocket of bodies may previously not have shared with others, or there may have been a financial gate to getting access to certain kind of pockets of information, or distributing resources that actually have never met those who have the greatest need. So can we use AI in a way that helps us target resources to those that have the greatest unmet need? And I think there is a sort of democratization of more things being open source and more things being out there, for people, for the practitioners in the space that are the experts, that can make their own judgments, can use their own experience to evaluate what's going to be helpful for them. I'd love to see AI used in that way. I think the risk is always, they both, everyone both touched on it so far, but it's how do we make sure you still maintain agency at a human level when you have AI, and how do we make sure that we still have families and young people that are able to understand about resilience and grit and making their own pathways, as opposed to being kind of reliant on what the machine tells them to do. So I think that for me is the risk here, is that we take out our own human judgment and our own human expertise, and relationships that we've formed. And I think again, the beauty of the Babyzone ecosystem is they can see other parents interacting with their children. They can see those serve and return moments, and it's really clear. Let's just make sure we don't dilute that with a kind of over-reliance on technology.
I think on the opportunities, the one that relates to what you've been saying, but to me is that can AI be a kind of force multiplier for human capabilities? And that's like human capabilities of the parent. So can we help them there's 20% of households in the UK with kids have not one book in the house that they own. So can we say, can AI help fill those gaps? That's one of the reasons we started Tandem. Can we look at health visiting workforces and actually empower them with the resources to target their human time where they really need it, and to leave something when they're not there that can fill those gaps? So I think there's an incredible opportunity around that. The risk that really keeps me up at night is relates a little bit to what you've both said, but we've three of you said. But it's this question of like deep attachment. And to me, what we're building with Tandem is a catalyst for human-human interaction. We're building everything we do, we optimize it, we say, optimize for more human interaction, and we track that through the platform and how we're trying to build the tool. But that's not the record we've got with tech. Tech is designed to make money. And the way that it's been monetized, the way we've made sort of quite anti-social media, actually, is that it's optimized for time on screen. And that suggests there's some deep problems with our tech ecosystem. That means that children and their needs and rights are probably not going to figure. We kind of messed up on social media. And I think we will mess up in much bigger ways if we're not careful on AI. I think that I worry about I spend a lot of time talking to my kids about AI and about the frolicking and playing with them, because I think the sort of the more obvious but bad things, that they're still bad, the bias, the homogenization, the issues you've raised, we'll sort of know about those and we're less likely to miss them. The much more insidious things actually might become a little bit under our radar, the way that this might become a substitute for human relationships. And I think that could be quite profound when young kids from their first thing start interacting with a machine that resembles a human in some way. I think we just need a much bigger societal conversation.